What's up, gang? Today was quite the day for me. Started big red, ended small red. Now, you might wonder what that even means, but I'll get into it when we get into the trades. But all in all, I'm finishing the day with the small red. I actually thought I was finishing the day with the big red, which was I had some, just a poor read or, into heavy size. There's multiple things that happen. We'll get into it when I break the trades down. But yeah, just the way I handled the New York session, I don't say was the greatest. And then I came into the Asian session. I was at the desk. I saw something present. I ended up taking it. I was able to, size in a lot heavier than usual because it's the Asian session, and I had, a fairly tight stop. So I had my risk was going to be very small on that side. But I'll get into it as I get into the trades. But this price action today is, it's tough, man. It was Chop City. And, I was looking all over everything online, everything on X, stuff I was seeing in our community. Everybody was just getting caught in the chop. And if you weren't pulling profits, 5, 7, 8 points into a trade and you're trying to hold on to 10 plus, majority of the time you are either giving your profits back or you're just getting stopped out on the other side. So just a tough day for everyone overall. Just, and this is one of those things I think we got to remind ourselves after a day like yesterday where you just had price go up and just trend beautiful and up, 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 up. And it was just you were long, you were flat, you were making money. And coming into a day today, uh, Thomas said it actually on the ASFX stream, made a great point about just, having such a big move yesterday that maybe today the market was just going to take a breather and the volume wasn't going to be there and it was going to be Chop City. And lo and behold, it was Chop City. And I got caught in the chop in the morning and basically hit my personal daily loss limit and was done and came back in the Asian session, not even wanting to trade. I was just at the computer doing some work and I just saw something present. My levels were there. We'll get into as I go over everything and you can kind of see how I managed that and what I saw and what my thesis was behind it. Because even today in the New York session, my thesis wasn't terrible. What was terrible was my entries. I was getting in really late, having to have wanting to not have a big stop because I was sized in a decent amount. And yeah, just getting stopped out both times, both ways, full stop. So let's get into what I was seeing at the desk in the morning and just go from there. So coming to the desk in the morning, you can see this was yesterday. And it was just like I said, into the New York session yesterday was just straight up. It was beautiful. Everybody was catching longs in here, and you could even up into the end of the day still be catching longs. And it wasn't until the very end of the day that you get this pullback and price just chops around here into the overnight session. Now, this is the previous day's value area low, and as you can see, the buyers are not letting the sellers get much control past this point. Even though we are trading under previous day's New York VWAP, and we're kind of chopping around the daily VWAP, still the buyers are holding this level. And this is a very strong level, 5,900. This really came into play today. It's something that was key and something that I was just almost hyper focused on. And looking at this, again, just it's only saying bullish. Like, look at this straight up. You get a small pullback, up, small pullback. Even here, the sellers briefly get below the previous day's value area low, but then the buyers just step right back in. And as soon as we get back above point of control, I'm looking at it like this, something like that. Even a deeper pullback down to previous day's New York VWAP and back up, something like that maybe. And I won't be looking at shorts until we can take this 59 or 58.90, I think was the level, somewhere in there. But I could see price even pulling back all the way down to the previous day's value area low and getting higher. And if we can get above this point of control, the sky's the limit again. And what's next? 6,000, right? I got a naked point of control at, what are we here? I got a naked point of control at 6,010. So a key level I'm going to be watching as price here just keeps pushing higher. If it does push higher, if we don't get a major pullback. So that's a level I'll be noting for sure. Let's get into the actual trades and what happened. So here's my first trade. New York Open, buyers briefly gained control. Again, here's that level I'm watching, 59, just, 5902, whatever it is. Let's just call it 5,900. Previous day's value area low. And look what happens. Sellers step back in, get it below New York VWAP. We're below the point of control. Now we've taken the opening range low to the bottom. Previous day's New York VWAP. And again, this level held so nicely in the overnight session. I was looking for a nice hold here. This is where I got a little bit ahead of myself. We were just talking about wanting to get the best price on this bounce because, like I said, if anything, we could get a deeper pullback to this previous day's value area low and then, shoot up like that. Here's where I made a mistake. I should have waited for a break of the New York VWAP. I didn't. I was a little eager. I wanted to get in this trade. After coming off a bullish day like yesterday, what are you thinking? You're bullish, you're long bias. So you're thinking, beautiful, you're going to get in here. Instead of getting in up here, I'm getting it 5 points cheaper. Take it up to the top of the opening range. I'm out. And that's a nice, what is that? Yeah, almost 20-point move, right? So you can't complain with that. So I entered here. I could have waited for a stronger open above the previous day's New York VWAP. If not, I'm fighting all three VWAPs. Previous days, start of day, the daily VWAP, and New York VWAP. I could have waited for a break above here. I didn't. What happens? Price pulls back immediately. I'm in 10 macros. I got a 10-point stop. I don't want to put on more than $500 of risk. So I should have probably went in 5, had my stop somewhere down here. But as you can see, I would have closed for break even. Who knows? I probably would have got stopped out here or something, right? So it's any which way you look at it in hindsight, it was a losing trade. And so yeah, price turns around on me, and again, we hold this 5,900 level, and I get stopped out on a wick, which it's good. I have 10 points. I'm sticking to it. I'm not going to move my stop on this one. Like I said, if we take this 5,900 level, I could see price sliding, right? This is such a level in the overnight, and if the sellers can manage to get the price below this, I could see this just tipping over. And that's it. So I'm down $500 or, on each account. So I'm down $1,000 on the first trade. Coming into the second trade, this is the mistakes of a new trader. This is very I don't want to say, I mean, I say discipline. This is not, lack of discipline on my part. What do I do immediately? Okay, now we're playing around with this level. We're going to go short. Are we? Are we just going to hold it again? Well, like, what's going on in my head? But clearly I convinced myself we're taking 5,900 here. We hold previous day's value area low, reject off of previous day's New York VWAP, back down to previous day's value area low. In my head, I'm calling this a break and retest, which it's not. It's holding the level nicely. I'm going to get in short. What happens again? I got a 10-point stop. I'm only putting $500 of risk on the trade. I'm in 10 micros again. I should have sized down, for crying out loud, now, for sure. And I could have left this, put my stop up here somewhere, but what happens? Price turns around on me again, stopped out. Hit my previous daily loss limit that I set on my Project X account with the top one futures. And it was $1,000, and boom, she done. So the accounts are locked out for the session. And you know what? To be honest, I deserved it. I was coming off that 4K win yesterday. Having a 2K loss today is just I gave back half of that win, and it was clear that I was just coming in a little heavy and overconfident in the beginning, and then this was just pure FOMO, and it got me. But again, not a bad thesis when you think about it, right? Break of the previous day's New York VWAP, hold, rejection. If this broke to the downside, then it could do that, but I just got in premature. And as you'll see, I don't have it here, but it did come lower. I think it ended up coming down to 58.90, something like that, that level I was talking about. It is what it is. And I was done for the day. I did my DRC, I did some content, I thought about everything, and I was back at the desk working on some stuff for a giveaway that I'm doing. And this trade presented itself, and this I took. So we had price chop around those levels the whole session. It was brutal. Everybody was getting caught in that chop. Here we gap down, tiny gap down, price pushes lower. But now the sellers are holding previous day's value area low. I'm looking for some more short pressure. I think low of day was 58.90. And I was thinking we can get a move back down to low a day again, if not a new low a day. So as price chops around here, I got a low a day VWAP on here. We reject off of the previous day's value area low, just clean. Come back down, take the low a day VWAP, and then we chop around here for a bit. Come back down, we get a break and retest. Take the low a day VWAP. I'm short back here. I only need to have, I think it's a 5.5 point stop. You know, you could think to put it up against the previous day's New York VWAP just so it could reject off it. But to be honest, like I said, if we get back up above here, who knows what this could do. I'm taking you know, I don't want to take too much risk on with this trade. I don't want to have a big massive stop and have this thing chop around. I either want to be in or out. And if this gap fills and we see any bullish momentum to the upside, I'm out of this trade. So I got 20 micros on, but it's only $500 of risk. It's 5.5 points. One thing I like about the Asian session is you're able to put some size on and really, um, you know, really trade aggressively and take profits aggressively. And that's exactly what I did. Price chops around, we get this push down. I lock my stop here, 50% of this candle. I'm taking some profits out of this trade. I am not losing. This thing could chop around all night. I'm not losing any money. I've already lost 1,000 on the day. This is going to be either I'm going to take a small win or I'm going to take a big win. There's no taking break even, none of that crap. I'm not letting this come back into drawdown, none of that shit. This is not why I took this trade. This is very aggressive profit taking. And lock my stop here, and then as price keeps pushing lower, I'm watching Bookmap, and Bookmap's just telling me it wants to come down and wants to come down, and it just keeps taking these levels. I trail my stop down to here again. We come back down for another push, and as we get back down to this push, I'm looking for 58.90 as my TP. This is where something really clued in and something I learned from today's New York session. I was always trying to go for 10 plus points. Why? That's just what I trade. It's 1R for me if I got a 10-point stop. This trade specifically really talked to me. And as price slowed here, just for 2 candles on NQ, was actually 5 minutes before price started to consolidate at the level. And what that's telling me is now we're having some indecision, and price could either go up or it could go down. So in my head, I have another 150 bucks on the table here if I hit TP, or do I pull this now? What do? I pull the trade, closed it. Look what happened. This is where spending enough time on the charts and experience actually comes in and pays off, and taking what you learned from today's losses, not trying to get that full 10 points out of the trade. So, you know, just a prime example, 871 on that times 2 accounts. So I'm up, I think 1,700. Basically, you'll see the calendar. What started off as a red $2,000 day is going to end like this. Right there. This was minus 2K. I was actually red on the week again. And, you know, after that, I was done. I locked my accounts. I'm not trading the New York session tomorrow. I'm just not going to do it. I don't need to do it. I don't need to, you know, if anybody follows Lawrence the Trader, if you don't follow him, follow him. The guy's awesome. I met him at the Tampa event. He's actually working with Tanner Owings, the Strong Trader. He's a coach working with the Strong Trader group. So he said something very good yesterday. On Monday, he had a $5,000 day. And he said yesterday he was just going to take it easy today. And, you know, or sorry, Tuesday he had a 5K day. And he said coming into Wednesday, he's going to size right down, reset, take it easy, preserve the capital. I had that thought go through my head this morning, but again, I need to be humbled every now and then, clearly. And I was humbled. And, you know, after I got 95% of that loss back today, I don't need to trade tomorrow. I'm just going to take a break. You can see, look at my week. Down 2K, up 4K. You know, it's down 2K. Now I'm up, you know, I'm up 1,600 on the week. So I could use a little reset, just a day off from the charts. I will be at the desk. I just won't be trading. And yeah. And I'll be back on Friday to trade again and see how she goes and finish the week strong and just make some content. I'm doing a top 1 giveaway right now for a 50K straight to funded account. If you go on my YouTube shorts, you'll see a video there that I made with all the rules, how to get in and how to enter the draw, the giveaway, and all that stuff. So definitely something you should be looking at. I'll be posting more content. The giveaway is going to happen Friday evening. So Friday by noon is the last day, but you basically want to go to Top 1 Futures, purchase any size account, anything, use code TRB. That's going to get you 40% off. That's going to get you 2 bonus add-ons, anytime payout and a daily loss limit. And with every purchase, you get entered into the giveaway. And who knows, you might win a 50K straight to funded account. It's almost a $400 value. So if you're looking at purchasing account, you know, use the code to get a chance in a giveaway, like you'd be silly not to. And if you're not, I'm good. Like I don't make money doing this. I'm just trying to make a little bit on the side with some of this, selling these accounts. So if you are going to buy one, please use my code. But if you're not going to buy one, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to twist your arm and tell you to buy one, right? So either way, it's all good. I would appreciate anything, to be honest. And I'm always grateful to have you guys watching the videos with me and following along this journey. And I'll catch you guys all. I'll still make a video tomorrow, and we'll just go over some more stuff. Maybe I'll get into the top one futures giveaway a little more, and we'll go from there. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.